All right, guys. It's almost here. We're gonna be watching the developer live stream for the Marvel's Avengers game. I know this is different than normally what I do, but if you've been watching my streams, in the beginning, I've been saying 2 games I play right now: MFR and Marvel's Avengers. Those are the only games I play now. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I accepted Marvel's Avengers for what it is. It has a lot of bugs. It's very repetitive, but I still find myself going back to it and just playing the same mission over and over again, trying to get, build my heroes. What's going on, guys? We got some people in here. And oh wait, I didn't even put the a question of the day on here, right? No, I did not. But yeah, we're gonna be watching that. We're gonna be watching the Deliver live stream, and I'm going to be covering this game. Not as much as MFR, but I will be still covering this game as well. But what up, Hamo? Thanks for coming to the stream. But yeah, it's supposed to be going on at 10. So at 10 it's going on at Twitch. I have everything set up. So at 10 it should be going. Right now there's like some pride thing going on right now. I was like, is this the right channel? Is this the right Twitch channel? But I hope I am, man. Let me know if you know what, let me post it as a I would like to know from you guys that have been watching me. Now we're probably gonna get some people that don't play MFR coming in here and probably gonna be new to the channel, but for the people that are been subscribed to me, I would like to know how many of you guys still casually every once in a while still play Marvel's Avengers. That is actually something that I would like to know, because I do that. I always find myself every time when Spider-Man came out, I went and got him, got this new outfits for him. Let me turn down the background music. I keep forgetting to turn down the background music, and it's like jamming. I'm over here trying to talk over it. An angry penguin will try to step on an elephant if given the chance. What? You don't want to mess with a penguin, I guess. Same, haven't beat the campaign. You know what? I just finally beat the campaign yesterday. Yesterday? I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Yesterday I didn't live stream because I wanted to keep playing Marvel's Avengers, because I was like, man, I'm doing pretty. Got my Jane Foster build to the point where I'm getting her heroics, her abilities pretty quick. So it feels like I'm actually like, Thor. And I didn't even get to that with Thor. Though I didn't give Thor that chance, but there's like a 4x quad XP event going on right now, and then I just found out you can even stack up those extra XP little things. Did you touch grass at least yesterday? Yes. Yes I did. But when Marvel's Avengers first came out, I got it for Xbox. No. I got it for PS4. I got that game, and then it, how the bugs and all that, it kicked me out of it crashed the game. And then when I tried to go back in there, I realized that it also corrupted my file. And for hours, I tried to fix it and I couldn't. And I stopped. I put the controller down for that game for a long time because I was maining Black Widow. I mained Black Widow, and I was surprised to see how fun Black Widow was, because I got her to a point where I was able to do like all these takedowns real pretty quick. And her ultimate, I love her ultimate with the stick. But I felt like once the file got corrupted and I couldn't get it back, I felt like I just lost all that progress. And I did lose all that progress. So I always casually played it, but never invested too much time into it until like about a couple weeks ago. I picked it back up and I really tried again. And I started off with Thor, and then I was casually playing until I think till the end of last week. I really got into it. But yeah, man, I've been having to yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff wrong with the game. I know I understand. I have those same opinions. What up, Thor? New Stranger Things episode today. Oh yeah, good thing you reminded me about that. Yep, that's what me and my wife are gonna be watching. Oh, got all caught up on it, everything. Oh yeah, I forgot. Let me put that let me get the question of the day, guys. Let me get that up there for you guys, because I do want to know what you guys think. And hopefully in this developer live stream, what I'm hoping for here is the kind of Jane Foster does not have that many costumes. Hopefully they tease some of the Thor Love and Thunder costumes. Like, we know that we had the costumes for there was some leaks that showed Thor getting a new costume, which is going to be from Thor Love and Thunder. But Jane Foster, though, that's the one I'm kind of, I hope that, you know, they show us a little bit of some more of her costumes that are coming. Here, let me get this up. And it's taking way longer than I expected. There we go. It's very weird if they release Jane Foster and not Thor first. For MFR, yeah, that would be weird. But just reminding everybody here that's watching, it's we're talking about Marvel's Avengers, not Marvel's Future Revolution. I know it's a little different, and I'm not expecting the same crowd as I normally do, but it's a game that I enjoy right now, and I'm excited for this developer notice. I mean, developer live stream. Like, I'm excited what they're gonna bring to the table. Now, my expectations are low for this game, so it's not really gonna. I don't expect, you know, like something super crazy. You know, I'm trying to see if they're gonna show us a little bit of some more outfits for her. What up, Sherwin? What Avengers cartoon series have you watched? I know we all have at some point. I don't know exactly the name, but I have Disney Plus, and I dibbled and dabbled on some of them. I never really got I think it's called Avengers Assembled. I think that's what it's called. What up, Brandon? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Friday, huh? Damn, I forgot what day it was. I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm also running on no sleep as well. Mighty Thor is OP. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with her. I love her ultimate. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that damn question. I mean, the here we go. Are you still playing? There it is. There it is. Now we just go ahead and ask the community. Bam, there you go. There's that poll. What up, user laser? Indie on that indie. That Indy 500. What up, Kelly Robinson? Earth's Mightiest Heroes was the best. I think I have that one on Disney Plus. There's a lot of stuff on Disney Plus. The one that I found on Disney Plus that I was like, oh my god, this one takes me back, was the Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, no, not the Amazing Spider-Man. The Spider-Man. You know, the one that goes dee nee nee dee nee nee. It just brings back all these memories when I hear that song. And just thinking of all that of like, I would love waking up in the morning and watching that show, having my bowl of cereal, and just watching Spider-Man. Damn, look, okay, we got 8 votes in, 75% say no. 90 Spider-Man, so good. Yeah, man, that was the day. That was the day. That's how I know about Morbius. I didn't know about when I knew the Morbius movies coming out. The only time I heard about Morbius, or I knew about Morbius, was from that show. I learned about him from that show. Us two are the 25%. You know what's funny though? Because I hear people saying comments like, how can you, Marvel's Avengers, if you're still playing Marvel's Avengers right now, you're pretty much probably just doing the same mission over and over and over again, because that's what everybody does. And they're right. to a point, they're pretty much right. And I don't know what it is. There I go, finding myself doing the same mission like 300 times, opening up boxes and doing the XP farm, so I can get that go to them champion levels, collect them champion coins or whatever they are. You're getting old, Indy. I know. I know. It's every day. One day I'm just gonna come in here, old man, glasses on, and realize that my long hair has always been a wig this whole time, and I've been bald. Oh man. Wait, what time is it? 43. Okay, it's supposed to go up at 10. So at 10 it's gonna be going live. But yeah, man, I'm more than willing. You can ask me MFR questions or more Marvel's Avengers questions, whatever. Honestly, you can ask me whatever. It's Friday. I'm in a good mood. What up, Goku? Thundercats. Thunder. My older brother, I remember he would watch it, and that's my memories of him, of Thundercats, was because of him. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for covering Marvel's Avengers. This game needs more attention and players. It's better when you can play with other people. Yes. Oh, so one of the things that I realized, right? So when I'm doing the matchmaking, right? And it was just, for me, I found it like so buggy. So I played solo for the longest time. But then I realized that just to go to the quick match thing and then just kind of like wait it out for a little bit. Because I have no friends. I have no friends on the PS5. I have no friends yet. But once I got in there with people, that was a game changer. So it definitely helps going in there with a group, especially if you know you're going in there with a group of friends. But yeah, hey, thanks, bro, Energy, for coming into the stream, man. Appreciate you being here. No cross-platform. From what I was reading, they said that they would try to put that, but the process to make it cross-platform, like cross-play, is it's a lot. It's a lot for them to do, but they said that they would try to kind of like, if they ever could work something out to get it to work, they would. But it's not off the table though. So what up, Bishaw? Someone is hacking the Marvel Future Revolution. Yeah, I've heard some I heard some people saying that. We have a CCC member that's been kind of speaking up about it. I haven't seen any type of hacking going on, but if there is video of it, share that in the Discord so I can take a look at it. What up, YG? What's going on, man? Good to have you in here. Where the packs are free of cost. Oh, they're hacking it so where the packs are free. Oh, damn. FMK? FMK? I don't even know what FMK means. I'm guessing you're saying what are my top 3 Avengers? I guess if the question is what are my top 3 Avengers, it would be Iron Man. Fuck my kids. Iron Man, Thor, and Cap. Probably that right there. I feel like an Avengers movie without them just wouldn't be the same. I never played Marvel's Avengers to begin with. Garbage game. First of all, what up, DNA? It's good to have you in here. I never played Marvel's Avengers to begin with. Okay, garbage game. It does have a lot of bugs, man. I can't, I'm not gonna be here and be like, oh my god, this game's amazing. I accept it for what it is. It's buggy. It's still kicking. They're still swinging. And I thought that since the department got sold, I thought that was going to be the end for it. But I guess they have a plan. They're even doing a dev stream, which is in like 12 minutes. But I have fun playing it. It is buggy though. I cannot lie about that. It is buggy and repetitive as well. But they always get me with these new characters, man. But the difference this time, though, is that when Wakanda came out, I came back, tried it. I never got them to a high enough power level to where I can really see them shine. I only did that with Black Widow. And I remember when I did that with Black Widow, if the game first came out, I was having fun with Black Widow. Then the game got corrupted. My save got corrupted and I lost all that progress. So I just took a long ass break from it and then I came back to it. And then I really went hard on Jane Foster. And yeah, she's an Echo character. And there's a lot that, it's pretty much the same thing as Iron Man, but there's a difference. She has a different little feel to it, but it's, yeah, I can't lie and say that she's completely different. It's a whole different character. No, it's definitely an Echo. And I'm pretty sure they even said that it's an Echo character. What up, Pat Mac? It's good to see you in here, man. 28 votes in now, and it's still 75-25. Man. Which I figured, man. I figured that that the most of my subscribers were probably not playing this game. But I knew that probably a little handful were. What's up, homie? And not much, man. Not much, man. Just here enjoying my Friday, and I've been playing. Since you just got here to the stream, man, I've been playing Marvel's Avengers, and I just been having a really good time playing it. I am starting to. I will be covering this game. Not as much as MFR, but yeah, you know, you will be seeing, you know, Marvel's Avengers maybe like once a week. UFC card tomorrow. Who's fighting tomorrow? I would also go hard on Jay. He's it's not what I meant, but you know what I was saying. You know. I then I didn't Sonya. Oh, I'm going for Conair. I don't know Conair. It's not Conor McGregor, right? No, I hope not. Because that would be too big of a fight for me to not know about it. What up, Fresh? Hey, Fresh, are you still playing Marvel's Avengers? Casually? Canon. Okay, yeah, I don't know who. Just by the name, I don't know who he is, but if I saw him, I probably would know. I know who Aden Sonya is. The Airbender. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm more of a boxing guy. Last time I bought a UFC was when damn it, I forgot his name. They call him Street Jesus. And I paid like, oh my god, 60, 70, I don't know how much it was. It was a lot of money to me. And this motherfucker breaks his leg in like the first round. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no. Con Air, it's Nick Cage. Nick Cage is in everything, man. I would watch any movie if Nick Cage is in it, I'm watching it. Only characters I like in that Marvel Avengers game is Thor and Iron Man. Yep, those are the ones that I was building up before Mighty Thor came out. When Mighty Thor dropped, I was like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be just a copy of Thor. George Masvidal, yeah, that's who he is. Yep, Street Jesus, that's him. Yeah, I saw him break his leg, and I'm like, damn, I just lost that money. Man, I haven't touched Marvel's Avengers game in months. I maxed out Thor out and semi-retired from the game. Semi-retired, man. I thought I retired from the game as well. Even when they brought Spider-Man, I came and played him out for a little bit. With Spider-Man though, his little, the way he runs and he just does this is like, this is how he looks. And it just looks like, I'm like, it just doesn't look right. Oh, I love the fact that they put the movie costumes is for Spider-Man. Okay, 5 more minutes left. Let me double check. Let me see if they do it, if they're doing a countdown. All right, here we go. It is. I'm at the right one because it was like some Pride, and it showed some stuff that I'm like, whoa, am I in the right Twitch channel? But it is. All right, let me. Intermission stream starting soon. But I hope. Let me see. Let me make sure the volume is up to par. Make sure the sound is all right. Oh, that music. I have not had any sleep yet, guys. I've been up for 24 hours. Before that, you don't be surprised if just 10 minutes from now you just see me like I'm good, I'm good. What time is the stream? It's starting in 4 minutes. Coming soon. It's coming soon. Is this the Team America soundtrack? No, the Team America soundtrack would have been badass. They should play that when Captain America is just, when you play as Captain America, just play that. When you do the ultimate as Captain America, that Team America theme music just starts playing. Hey guys, make sure you guys like this stream. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I cover MFR, which is a marble mobile game. I will be covering this game as well. Not as much as MFR, but this will be added to, because it's the only 2 games I play right now. Now I got that Team America music in my head. America. Oh snap! What up, Godslave? What up, God? Oh man, I know you got stuff to say about the Avengers. Nothing good. I know. And I can't even argue with you, man. I can't even argue with you because there is, what you're saying is true. I just have fun playing it, even though I'm doing the same mission and just opening up boxes over and over again. It's fun. I played raid with a group of people. That was pretty, and it was long too. I did like that. I was confused for a minute, but thankfully we were able to communicate. Nerf Spider-Man. All right, we're 1 minute, less than 1 minute away. It should be starting soon. Hey, Godsley, thanks for stopping by, showing some love, man. I've been playing Jane. Yeah, very Thor. Only major difference is her ult. Yeah, her ult. Also, her when you're in the air, her dash is faster.
Hello,
Oh,
hello. Are we live? Can everyone hear us? Yes, please. All right, awesome. Happy Mighty Thor Week. We hope that everyone is enjoying Jane's combat kit and having fun in the Avengers initiative with some new team comps. I'm Megan. Hi, I haven't had a chance to speak to a lot of you for a while. I'm the director of community here at Crystal. And today we're going to take a look at some cool, we're going to take a look at an interview. We're going to have talks with a couple of dev members and just celebrate Jane's launch. So first up, we are going to play a chat from yesterday with Jessica Krause, who's a narrative designer here at Marvel's Avengers, and Zara Fuzzle, who voices Jane in the Avengers. And I feel like so many of you have fallen in love with her, as we have. After that interview, we are going to be chatting with Brian to get his insights into Jane's creation and then some gear insights from Alex. And to clarify, apologies for the confusion. This isn't a gameplay session. Originally, we were going to try to do this before launch, but so much going on trying to get Jane out the door. So we're just going to kind of talk about the philosophy of building the character and so on, and dive into some of the insights of that. Also, a huge shout out and thank you to Neha from the Tomb Raider team for running things behind the scenes and making sure this all goes well, because I don't know how to do live streams. So thank you, Neha. But let's do it. Let's get started. And we hope you enjoy the chat with Jessica and Zara and get to learn a little bit about the character and enjoy. All right, well, welcome everybody. We hope that you're enjoying Jane Foster's Mighty Thor Week in Marvel's Avengers, and we've got some exciting guests today to talk to. I haven't been around in a while, so I guess I should say hello. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm the Director of Community at Crystal, and I'm super excited to be joined by Jessica Krause, Senior narrative designer at Crystal Dynamics, because she recently got promoted. Like, big applause. And also Zara Fuzzle, who voiced Jane and is a prolific voice actor in gaming and other mediums. And we're going to talk to them about bringing the character to life. So thank you for joining us today, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so let's start with Jessica. A little bit about yourself and your work in the industry, and then what do you do here at Crystal?
So I'm a senior narrative designer and writer at Crystal Dynamics. I started at Crystal in June of 2020, so I just hit my 2 years here. And I first started working on the Spider-Man pack for Marvel's Avengers.
We'll jump in
after that. Before Crystal, I worked at Telltale Games for about 2 years, and my background is actually in theater. My background is in playwriting, and then I moved into video games when I started at Telltale as an intern and then got promoted as a writer. So yeah.
Awesome. Exciting. All right. And how about for you, Zara? You have a prolific career, as I said, across gaming and TV.
Hey, what's up, 7S Official? What's going on, man? It's good having you here.
Heard your voice before?
Sure.
Excited for Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
And I love that you have a theater background.
I see it as Spider-Man 3,
I also have a background in theater. That's how I came into acting.
Theater nerds!
Yay, live audiences. And I'm actually opening a show tonight.
Oh, so exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's get to the game.
At the Geffen Playhouse here in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
But so my background is in theater, but I was always fascinated by animation as a kid. I wanted to be an animator. And so I always would study the voices behind these shows. Even as a kid, I would see in the credits like, oh, who plays this? Who plays that? So as an adult working in the theater, I always in the back of my mind knew, I want to work in animation. So about 10 years ago, when I moved to Los Angeles, I really started making the push to work in animation and video games. And I found that having a background in theater and live performance has really equipped me to kind of enter that industry where so often you have to imagine the audience, excuse me, that you are speaking to.
Yeah.
When you're often alone recording in a booth. So I just love it. I've worked on several animated series, including Young Justice, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Voltron, Amphibia, Big Hero 6, the series, Craig of the Creek. And I've had the astonishing good fortune to work on a lot of video games where I'm actually a player character. Borderlands 3, Destiny 2, League of Legends, Apex Legends, I'm the announcer. And so I play a lot of superheroes, primarily in the DC universe. So I'm so excited to play Jane and play a superhero in the Marvel Universe sandbox. I couldn't be more thrilled.
That's amazing. What's your day job? I get to play superheroes. Like, that's so cool. I mean, I know that it's a simplification, but it's a pretty cool premise for a job. I love that.
An embarrassment of riches, truly.
All right, so for Jessica, let's start with you with the inspiration for Jane. So about her comic origins and why she's such a cool, unique character. And then also, if someone is not familiar with Jane, what would you say is the recommended like run of comics that they read to kind of brush up on her origins?
Yeah, well, we definitely pulled a lot of her origin from Jason Aaron's run of The Mighty Thor. It's a pretty extensive series. It includes Jane Foster, but also a lot of Thor as well. And it goes into the War of the Realms. And it's such a good comic run. I actually was not a huge fan of Thor for a very long time. That was more, I have an older sister, and that was sort of her hero that she really liked. And as the younger sister, I was like, are you trying to tell me something? Because I know a lot of Thor is about like that sibling relationship and they not liking each other. And I'm like, are you telling me something? But I ended up reading the Mighty Thor run for Jane, and I just fell in love with it because I'm a huge fantasy nerd. And most of that run, and particularly the War of the Realms, is all like, it's like comic book fantasy, and it's so good. So I highly, highly recommend that run by Jason Aaron. And yeah, that's where we pulled a lot of Jane's origins, because that's where, you know, Jane is suffering from cancer in that series and is using Thor, well, not using Thor, but she is called to Mjolnir, and it essentially like it, when she is Thor, her cancer doesn't exist anymore. But then when she puts the hammer down to turn back into Jane, it's like it resets her treatment. And so I was super fascinated by that. And we tried to pull as much of that into our version of Jane.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you. And we'll touch a bit on that even more a little bit later. Yeah. So Zara, I know that you weren't actually aware of like what character you were auditioning for when you had this, in particular, which hero. So when you found out that it was Jane, like what made you excited about the character and getting the role?
Yeah, I mean, I was excited in the first place to audition for Avengers because it's a game I wanted to get on. And the audition was for the role of a senator, and she gives an impassioned speech, you know, defending this marginalized community. And so I thought, oh, what kind of NPC is this? Like, what senator is this? This is someone from X-Men.
Thank you, Selena. I was muted.
I just, you know, kept it grounded, kept it real.
What up, Juicy?
Heard back shortly after from my agent that I had booked the role of
Jane
Foster.
We will be discussing MFR because I feel like this might be a short stream.
Jane the game, that's cool. You know, and my familiarity with Jane was really from the MCU movies and Natalie Portman's portrayal of the character. And it wasn't until the session was booked and scheduled that I was told that it was not only Jane Foster, but Jane Foster as the Mighty Thor, a playable character in the game, a hero. And so I was so excited. And I have to say, like, being Thor was never on my like bucket list of roles. Like, dream was impossible for me. So I was thrilled and delighted.
I love that. That's amazing. So both of you have actually shared that you have a personal connection to Jane and her story, and I think that has just provided such a unique,
I did try in the thumbnail. I put Marvel's Avengers.
So Jessica,
and in the title, Marvel's Avengers as well. And the game that's listed in the description is Marvel's
I actually
Avengers.
did a Twitter thread about this when Jane was released.
I did.
So
I
feel
tried
free
my
to go
best
look
not
at
to trick anybody.
But so the reason Jane was so personal to me is because, you know, I went through that of watching someone I love very much go through cancer treatment. My dad about 10 years ago was diagnosed with cancer while I was still in college. And so because a lot of Jane's Intel doc set is about her reaction to that diagnosis. Also, you know, what is happening during her treatment? How is she dealing with that? How is she dealing with that while also having Thor at her side, taking care of her. And so a lot of that stuff was pulled from my experience, my dad's experience, my mom's experience. When I was first tackling these, I spent like 2 hours on FaceTime talking to my parents and getting their perspective on what their reaction was, because they could speak from an emotional place as having their family members or having themselves dealing with this, but they're also both scientists. So I could discuss from a very like pragmatic standpoint, a very logical standpoint, what that reaction was like as well. And then I was able to put some of that into Jane because she is a doctor. So she would have that moment of like, oh my God, what do I do?
I like the Marvel is doing route, like Pokemon taking over all platforms.
This is my procedure. This is going to be my routine.
There's a lot of Marvel IP games.
So yeah, it was very personal for me to write this because I was able to, you know, pull from anecdotes. We talk about Thor brings up nutrition shakes. And that is like something that is burned into my memory from 10 years ago, like opening the fridge to my parents' house and seeing just Ensure bottles filling the fridge up. And so I feel like putting in those personal anecdotes gave it a level of authenticity that I really wanted for Jane, because I wanted to respect it and I wanted to give as much empathy as possible.
It's a fantasy story and heroes and gods from other worlds and stuff, but it's so grounded in reality, especially with that angle. And it's interesting because you say you wanted to give it a personal feeling. It's so personal, but it's also very universal to other people's experiences.
Absolutely.
It feels like, looking at the reaction that I've seen to the portrayal by you, Zara, and then Jessica, the writing, I've seen several people already speak up and say, this is the life that I was living. Either it was myself or a loved one. And it seems to have really resonated with a lot of people. So Zara, how about with yourself? Why was this a personal story for you?
Yeah. I mean, when you write something so personal, that's so rooted in personal experience like Jess did, it really resonates and strikes what is true for each person who receives it, including me, the actor interpreting the words. I lost my father to pancreatic cancer, and you know, several other members of my family have dealt with cancer. I don't think there's a single person in the world who hasn't been affected by cancer, either directly or affecting their friends and loved ones. I have a few friends right now going through chemo, and
I'm thinking the same thing.
What I always try to do as an actor in any role I play is to find the human.
Hey, why does this go whispering?
And I especially love doing that in finding the human and the superhuman.
I'm not gonna lie, this developer live stream,
it was very easy to access Jane.
Definitely
not
not
only because of my personal
way I was expecting it to go,
and seeing loved ones go through that, but just
I feel like I'm in
being a human
one of those
in a
therapy rooms where everybody just opens up.
Challenge. Okay, here's the challenge. You're going to have an emotional response to it, and then you're going to see what's the next step I can take to move forward tomorrow, and then the next day after that, and the next day after that. And those audio logs with Jane and Thor are such amazing pieces of writing, and were such a pleasure.
That is true.
I have to also shout
cancer
out
is a sensitive topic, especially when they're talking about their experiences with it, and I know that it must be like some
subtle, nuanced line without pushing too far, without still keeping it energized. It was just a pleasure.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people kept thinking that this was going to happen,
and be vulnerable and let my heart come through.
What up, Marcus?
Thank you, Jess, for that opportunity.
Thanks for coming in here, man.
Of course.
Well,
and also, yes, shout out to Kal-El. He is incredible. He's an incredible voice director.
Yeah.
And like I said, it has already resonated so much with people that we're seeing online, and people sharing their own fundraisers and stuff like that. And like, that's the impact that entertainment can have. And so, you know, huge congratulations to both of you for such a nuanced, you know, an amazing portrayal, but also for making people, you know, feel represented and seen and so on. I think that's such an amazing experience to deliver.
Mighty Thor.
Okay,
update.
so let's talk about the
There's no
narrative
story.
itself. So we've talked a lot about how their things are similar. So Jane Foster and Marvel's Avengers does have a different
Woke
narrative
vibes.
from the comics and the MCU film. So Jessica, how did you adapt her and her character and the storyline specifically to our game, but still obviously keeping that DNA?
Okay, now we're getting
so
somewhere.
I mean, granted, her origins are very similar to the Mighty Thor comic run. So a lot of that was expanding that a little bit, because the comics don't go too in depth into her cancer treatment, not in the same way that we do. Mostly because like it's a comic, we need to spend that time with her as Thor for a lot of it. So being able to expand on that is something we were able to do with the game, as well as change how she gets into our universe, because Jane comes from an alternate universe.
Yeah, I'm like they're talking about it like they made this whole storyline for her.
Thankfully, we have these
there is no
storyline that we have built up since Kate's release that we could pull from to kind of give us our reason to pull someone from other universes. So part of writing her banter and also some of the intel docs was changing how she talks to the Avengers, because she does know them, but she knows a different version of them. And so it's this like, okay, my version of you is a little bit different, and like there's a dog that they have on her universe and things like that. So a lot of it was adapting that way to kind of be like, well, you know, we do have this relationship, but you don't have that relationship with me currently, so I have to do the work to build that relationship again.
So bizarre, like that. Literally out of time. Like, how do you?
I just hope they show us like some new outfits for her.
Feeling you have looking at someone that you're like, I know you so well, but literally I don't know.
I don't think they're gonna drop any big
like so it's
teasers,
so
but maybe
nuanced.
some outfits.
So you know, Sarah Jane has been getting so much visibility in the Marvel universe, Jane in particular, but now we got the Mighty Thor and so on in the MCU. So like, how did you make Jane your own?
Oh gosh. Again, I just went back to what I had submitted on my original audition, which was a strong woman who was very grounded, very real, very upset by injustice. Truth was important to her. So I think those were the seeds that I kept for the character. That's really
Tiger was going on, man. Why are we watching The Notebook?
Doing the right thing, protecting those who can't protect themselves. That's the core of Jane Foster. And the Mighty Thor. And so, you know, I really just kind of focused on that rather than thinking about other ways the character has been portrayed. I really just tried to keep it rooted in what I thought was her core. And then for some of the fun, you know, battle chatter stuff, that's when it was really fun to lean into, you know, the grandiosity of Thor.
There's that Thor tone in your voice.
Right. And it's like, and that was something we discussed with our voice directors, Khalil Bogdanov and Maddie Stratton as well, fantastic voice director, to kind of figure, okay, when is Thor making when is the Mighty Thor making fun of Thor? When is she really feeling it and leaning into the role?
Exactly.
And when is it just her her in her more human origins?
Like that, a lot went into the feelings.
So, Jessica,
for
what is the
character with no
relationship between
storyline.
Jane and Thor in this universe, and how does that kind of play out?
Yeah, it's very different because as I'm sure a lot of players have heard in her intel doc,
I know, right,
relationship
Marquise?
with her Thor didn't end really great because their kind of final confrontation was a bit of an argument before Jane picks up Mjolnir, and so she kind of has to like reset and kind of have that, you know, moment with Thor of being like, you are my ex-boyfriend, but we're not together in this universe, and we ended on bad terms in my universe, but you don't know that, so I don't know how to like navigate this. And then there's that additional stress of Jane in her universe made a deal with Loki, and that is something she's essentially has run away from by coming into our universe. And so there's that layer of like, what did you just do?
Mhm.
Are you going to fix this? Kind of like tension between the two of them.
Yeah.
But also there is quite a lot of playfulness with them as well, because there isn't that baggage of the relationship they had from her universe has been removed. So there's some really sweet banter between them, where like in Jane's universe, Thori is a thing, which is Thor's dog.
Yeah.
And they get to have this conversation about like, you know, Thor having a dog in her universe and how upset Odinson is that he doesn't have a dog in this one. There's some playful humor about like, isn't Loki a pain in the ass? Yeah, he's a pain in the ass in my universe too. So there's a little bit of playfulness that I think Jane
Imagine all the people that came to this live stream all excited.
She hasn't been able
the dev note and the way they started it off, real sentimental.
I love that. Yeah, that like
damn,
sort of
man,
fresh chance, but also lots of baggage. And what do you do? What do you divulge? And what do you just kind of like downplay and step away from, and so on. You know, I have to imagine being pulled in from like an alternate universe is just like complicated.
Yeah,
in its own right.
Yeah,
and on also, top of that, like exes and stuff.
Yeah, and also the sense of like seeing, because Jane is seeing a Thor that does not have guilt the same way that her Thor did, because her Thor gave up the hammer for her out of a sense of guilt. And so it's such a different universe to come into, and seeing, oh, this is the Thor I remember. This is the Thor that
all right, so
was
for the people that haven't played
like the
game, Jane Foster is in Marvel's Avengers.
I'm reminded of that.
And what's weird is that she has no storyline.
So Zero, I'll ask both of you this. We'll start with you, Zero. Do you have a favorite moment or line of dialogue or interaction that you feel kind of like perfectly encapsulates Jane?
I think they're spending way too much time
or something that you're just like really proud of that you want people to look out for.
Oh gosh,
on something that she really doesn't have.
Dialogue with Kamala.
What up,
Khan.
Beast Mode?
As a Pakistani American myself, that character and that IP is something I've been interested in and following for a very long time. So I just love. I think Jane has a line about how she's the best of us. Ms. Marvel's the best of us. And I just love that so much. There's almost these like maternal sisterly moments toward her. So I love that. There's also a great exchange with Steve Rogers and a tea kettle. And how you shouldn't put an electric tea kettle on a stove. I just thought that was hilarious.
I love it. I love it. And how about you, Jessica? What about you? What's your favorite?
So the tea kettle line, fun fact, is something I did in college.
Oh no!
I accidentally put my electric
I know, man.
on the stove and it just melted.
Oh no, poor baby.
Yeah. 19-year-old me was not very smart. But yeah, there's a lot of fun little tidbits. There's I think we created a like coffee snobs group that Jane has joined, and I believe it's Clint and Widow, and it might also be.
Gave me an urge to drink pedicure and drink latte.
Jane has joined the coffee group. There is. This is taken from, again, Mighty Thor. So there's a very small exchange at the beginning of Mighty Thor. That's where
understandable,
Jane comes back to Earth.
It is definitely.
All the Avengers are there. And right as she tries to leave, she leaves, and then I can't remember who comes up. I think it's Captain America that comes up to Iron Man and asks if Iron Man asked her out again, and that's why she left. So essentially I interpreted that Jane hates
if this
Tony
is literally
Stark.
all they talk about. I can already see the videos,
universe. And so she
that will be made about this. She
just rags on him the whole time in her banters with him, and that was quite fun to play to write. Because a lot of times it's like, oh, we're getting along and stuff, and I liked the dichotomy of like, no, I hate Tony Stark from my universe, and so I'm going to take it out on you.
I love it. All right. Well, yeah, I hope reception. Jane's been out for a few days now. People seem to be loving her as a character and super fun gameplay and everything. Much and thanks to both of you and the story and her personification and so on. So Thank you both so much for chatting with us today and the amazing work. And I hope we get to chat with you again in the future.
Wait, hold on, I got my little hammer as well.
Yay!
Oh no, I don't have one. Oh,
We are worthy.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, Megan.
So much.
That's average. That's average size. Okay, this might be. Oh, we might get some good stuff here. The sound went away.
Megan, you're muted.
I just look like I'm making these weird gestures. I was summoning Alex. Alex, come to us. Come to us. All right. Making these weird gestures. I was summoning Alex. Uh-oh, we got an echo. We got an echo. Let me fix this quick. All right. Well, we hope that all of you enjoyed that interview. Brian and I were talking about this earlier, that like after this interview, I talked to them for I think another half hour because they are just the most pleasant.
All right, guys, it's about to go down.
Ladies to talk to, and yeah, it was just really nice to hear from them and their inspiration. But now we're going to talk some gameplay. So
there we go.
For joining us, Brian and Alex. Can everybody? You guys want to say hello and make sure everybody can hear you?
Miss, my pleasure. Glad to be here.
All right.
I am also talking.
These are also words. All right. So we're going to start with Brian. We're going to talk a little bit about philosophy behind Jane and so on. I know you've been super excited.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
And kind of like a project that you've worked on very personally and so on. So let's start with like the general design philosophy. How did you approach Jane in terms of ensuring she feels like the goddess of thunder, but she also is bringing her own unique spin to the table? Because that's a really, really hard line to balance.
Yeah, and we've had similar heroes in terms of, kit and abilities before with Clint and Kate. And this one we wanted to take a look because, and I see a lot of comparisons to Clint and Kate in terms of what we did for those versus what we did for Jane versus Odinson. The major difference in why there is more shared kind of mechanics and abilities between Jane and Odinson is the common denominator, right? It's Mjolnir. It's their source of a lot of their power, not all of their power, but a lot of their power. And so we did a top to bottom kind of review of both Odinson's kit when we started talking about Jane early on, and figuring out, okay, what are some things that should be common across the two of them? What are some things that should definitely be unique? Like, more in terms of not looking at it in terms of like, here's a list of the abilities, let's do a checkbox sort of thing. More in terms of what we tend to call comic DNA or character DNA, which is looking at their comic origin, their and the source of their abilities that you see in their stories from the comics, and what would make the most sense and be the most fun to bring into a video game, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that they may do in the comics that wouldn't really translate to video gamey sort of mechanics. And so there was a lot of things like Thor's kit is very comprehensive, and I think it's one of, like, there aren't a lot of instances. I mean, there are plenty of other games that have had Thor in them, video games, and have had Thor in them in the last, I don't know, 30, 40 years as video games have been around. But I like to think that our encapsulation of Thor Odinson is probably one of the most satisfying combat kits out there. And so we didn't want this. We didn't want Jane to feel completely foreign, especially, like I said, that a lot of their shared powers come from Mjolnir. So we took a look at those things and we compared them, and we made some pretty tough calls, and looked at ones that we thought would be the most bang for the buck. So a lot of things in game development is about prioritization. Like, would we have liked to do a full different kit for her? Maybe, I don't know. That was never a topic for us. It was more about, like, their strengths are are the things that make them unique. And so we leverage those things. And even, like, one of the things that we've talked about in blogs and other interviews is, like, her light attack combo. Mechanically it's the same, but our AJ and our other animators took time to say, yes, it's the same mechanic. I mean, there's not many different ways you can do bonk 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 with a hammer, right? but they looked at it and said, Jane is much more nimble, she's much more comfortable with throwing it as part of her melee moves, not just her ranged moves. And they just noodled on it, and they created that toss 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 rather than bonk bonk bonk, as I've affectionately called it in our meetings. And that to me really stood out in how we made her feel different while still feeling similar. So yeah, it was definitely a different tack. is this how all heroes are going to function in the future? Absolutely not. Like we've said that our heroes operate on a spectrum. You know, Clint and Kate had a more different kit because of their background, and Kate in our history too, with, you know, her usage of aim tech, and you know, Jane and Odinson have similar but different kits now. Every hero that we do, we're going to evaluate and see what we want to do and what we can do and what we think is the right thing to do, and we're going to go from there.
That was a comprehensive answer. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I've answered it about 90 times in the last week, so I think I'm getting okay with it.
So I think you touched on kind of like,
it looks like he doesn't want to be there, but he's like, fuck, if I have to do this, I'll do it
on a case-by-case basis. Let's take a second to speak specifically to Jane's intrinsic and her overcharge. So like the All Mother's Blessing and God Tempest. I think I said Tempest 9,000 times while recording the war table, and they had to
excellent job with the war table,
like,
by the way.
Saying it wrong. My brain just filled it in. God Tempest. So can you talk a little bit about those?
Sure. I mean, you're talking about her intrinsic and her ultimate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just the intrinsic overcharge, or just like how her, just a little bit more specific about the foundations of her play and how she plays.
Yeah, so one of the key things that like I mentioned before with her is that she's much more comfortable using Mjolnir at range, and so we and giving, I don't know if giving Mjolnir the freedom versus allowing or encouraging Mjolnir to have the freedom to do what it wants, like with her ultimate that way, of sending it out to say, hey, go, you know, do your thing. And because she's much more comfortable allowing, you know, and utilizing the hammer at range, we wanted her intrinsic to feel that way. We definitely didn't want to just do a version of Odin Force for her, because that, again, it just doesn't suit her kit. And so we like the idea of making her, and we pay attention to all the different builds that players have used with Odinson. Especially with, and I spent a lot of time with this build myself because it was just ridiculous fun, of like range Thor builds, right? If you're a comic person, like the idea of playing Thor only as range is wild, but like it felt really good in our game. And so we said, hey, what if we had a hero that her kit was tailored more into that route? And so we started looking into, okay, what are some of the things that change?
And the crazy thing though is that she has no storyline
that way, at the same time not directing them to do it, because as always, you have talents and upgrades and things that let you customize how you play. Like if you don't want to play range, you don't have to play range. That's fine.
He has like a little cutscene in the beginning.
We just wanted to give some different options that way, where if you really like playing ranged Thor Odinson, this is a new way to do it while still feeling familiar.
Love that. I love that. So everything kind of culminates in the all weapon, right? And her ultimate heroic. And can you talk a little bit about that and Undiarn and just how epic that is?
Yeah, it was one of those things, and this is one of the interesting things about design, because when you're doing the initial design, it's all on paper, right? It's all in meetings, and it's in text and writing, and it isn't until you really see the animation and you see the VFX and you see all those things come together, even when you have the final model of the hero. Like for a long time, we didn't have the final, you know, iconic outfit for her, and we were using this really weird gray version of it that still gives me kind of nightmares. But once you see all of those things come together, and like the final piece to really come together on that was summoning Undiarn. And when I saw her reach up and the VFX, the gold VFX around her arm come in, I'm like, yeah, we nailed it with this. Like it just feels so, like you get some chills, you know, and you're like, that's really how it was supposed to work. And so, yeah, to me, it feels really satisfying. And I love the seeking Mjolnir, throwing it out there, utilizing a different hammer. Because it really ties into her, and I mean, how worthy can you be to have two hammers, right? And but also giving people the opportunity of some other creative talents with that, of saying, nope, Mjolnir is going to protect me. It's going to revolve around me, and it's going to protect me from incoming stuff. Like a lot of cool options for her in terms of how it plays and how it works. So, and you know, I'm sure as Alex will talk about, you know, gear is how we can take that even further and how we can change these things to function even better.
Yeah, and I love that. We'll talk about gear. One more question for you. What is your kind of team comp setup with her right now? So you're saying you like, it feels cool, you like doing range, and there's all these different options. Like, how are you using Jane currently, and with who?
I'm trying everything, really. And that's a kind of a lame cop-out answer. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, I've spent...
Is it me, or is this guy leaning more and more down from his chair?
Playing with her for about 6 months.
Like in 5 minutes, all we're going to see is his forehead.
For me, since she came out on Tuesday, and this week I haven't spent a lot of time playing with her on live, because I play both on PlayStation and Xbox.
Look at that, he's
and
getting
PC,
lower and lower.
So I tend to bounce around with different builds on different platforms. But I've taken a little bit of time since Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to having a 3-day weekend here in the States of just being able to sit down and on all the different platforms, try different things a turn, and you know, just kind of get in there and play with some other people, and you know, to see what feels the best now that we have everything in a nice little package.
Yeah, I want to do some playing this weekend as well, and I know that I'm just going to get stuck in this endless loop of photo mode and not actually moving more than an inch and just taking pictures the whole time. But we've seen some amazing photo mode shots so far, and I love the ones that see Jane and Thor together. They're so good.
I love retweeting those every time someone sends them to me on Twitter because they're just all so good. And then I save them and I put them in like rotating wallpaper on my phone.
I love it. All right, Alex, let's talk gear. So just some thoughts in general. We'll pull up a couple of screenshots to show off some gear in a second, but what was the philosophy behind differentiating gear from Thor, but again, making sure same sort of thing with the combat. It's unique to her, but feels different as a fellow wielder of Mjolnir.
This is actually, it was really good to actually be on the ground floor for Jane because it felt like, hey, let's build Jane in such a way that it is expandable with gear, not to correct what we did in the past. Like, oh, hey, Thor was kind of built and then Thor's gear was built as an afterthought. And we've definitely changed that over time to make it this like, oh, hey, he definitely has pieces I want to go out there and hunt. But again, we had to fix something that we did in the past to make something more engaging. Well, we didn't want to correct that. So at the very beginning, when we were discussing Jane's skills, we were like, okay, how can we expand upon this so we could start building in all of those systems? And so it's like, oh, hey, her overcharge is going to have a different type of like, you know, function. It's going to have like a different type of buildup. It's going to have different variable and meter enhancements. It's like, hey, how can we attach these things on there? How can we make this part of this part of combat engaging? What type of loops do we want players to engage in? What type of combat loops do they want? It's like, hey, and then also across all of that, we need these to be useful in boss encounters, not just mob encounters.
Yeah.
So that type of like mentality from the top down is like, hey, she has a different heroic ultimate. She has the same heroic assault and heroic support. And the big point on that one is that we need those to also feel different. So we took a step back to unpack those moves. And in the process, we also made some ideas and some perks that will eventually filter down to Thor. But they'll obviously premiere on Jane with some of her hero gear. But obviously, in the future, we have other plans for those type of things. And so in doing so, we took a step back of like, hey, how do we want these type of heroic
Thor getting
attacks to be modified by gear? How do we want to like tie it more into like selfish actions? Like, I just want to worry about my DPS, or do we want to try and tie this into
this guy should have started the stream?
Actions? Like, kind of that thing. It's like, oh, hey, it's normally a support ability. Do we want to give you some selfish type of benefits, or do we want to like push the support capability similar to like Hawkeye's recovery arrow? It's like we have
she was released like 2 days ago.
Its duration a lot, and then we have some that increase like your damage while inside of it and everything like that. So
yeah,
that type of aspect.
Look at some of those. So we're gonna pull up some screenshots. So Neha, would you mind pulling up the classic gear image for us, and then Alex, you can kind of walk us through a little bit of what we're seeing.
Absolutely. So the classic set, which should be the Allfather set. Please tell me if the image doesn't say Allfather, because I don't look at the Twitch chat. I just
barely see that shit, man.
We got it up there.
Appreciate it. So the Allfather set is supposed to be about perk synergy within one piece of gear, but overall it's supposed to be, again, a jack of all trades. It's getting all elements of a hero's kit up to some type of capability, with my favorite actually being the ranged piece, which has the lethal ranged hammer restoration, which is defeating an enemy with a ranged attack, drops a regen pack, which is just an in general great sustained feature. But then again, right below it is critical recall. So when returning to your hand, it will automatically be a critical hit, which is just a great way to just increase damage on like the little chumps that are in the way. And then of course, if you have a lot of fodder, as the hammer comes back, you're going to be getting a lot of regen packs. It's just a fun perk, not necessarily like, you know, outstanding in its DPS capability, but always good to see those big numbers pop up.
Yeah,
the rage piece is again one of those that it's just in general a very good like piece to add into other sets. So increase all damage while All Mother Blessing is active. So hold down that right trigger so her intrinsic is up, and you're going to be getting more damage pretty much from everything. Then below that, increase the amount of overcharge energy gained from all attacks. So not intrinsic energy, overcharge energy. So it gets to your overcharge faster. So in general, a great utility piece that can fit in any build. And then we get to the heroic. Rampant Supercharge, S tier perk.
Play this
don't
game?
Really don't really need to explain that.
Yeah.
And now we get into some of the other perks that really are like showcasing other aspects that we were talking about, where it's like, hey, we want to highlight the new heroic, and we also want to unpack some of the older heroics. So ultimate lethal shock explosion. If you defeat an enemy with Mjolnir from all weapon, it creates a shock explosion. Hey, you're adding in more status effect to that type of stuff, being able to like take out more waves of enemies with just like a single enemy defeated. Or if there are enemies closer to like bigger enemies, you're going to be able to spread that shock status effect even better. And then God Bless Assistance is genuinely one of my favorite perks that the combat team made up when we were brainstorming, like, hey, how do we like it's a contrarian style perk, because you're naturally taking an offensive, very selfish perk where you're only worried about your damage, and you are turning it into a support ability that you have a chance of dropping an intrinsic orb. Yeah, fine, it'll help you, but it could also help other people, and it's going to overcharge teammates in range, which is fantastic to just sustain Hulkbuster or Percussive Blast or any of that on your other teammates. So in general, this is honestly one of my favorite pieces. And then when you go
I love listening to you talk about this. You light up talking about the gear, which is just so fun. All right, should we look at
It's not just here too. This is him all day. All day, every day.
Doing the right work here.
It even woke Maverick up. So.
Oh. So we're gonna take a look at the technical set next, correct? We switched.
So again, really quickly, but like the chest piece of the Allfather is like pretty basic, because again, it's like, oh, you're losing less intrinsic energy, you're gaining more crit from hammer attacks, and then you gain like a basic thing. But in general, it's a defensive piece. But yes, let's go to the technical set next.
And Stranger Things.
The technical set, its entire thing is the loop of overcharge.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Not her intrinsic, not her ultimate. So it's focused on her overcharge or God Tempest. So starting off with the heroic piece, we have unarmed attacks generate more overcharge enemy per attack. Solid. Defeating enemies while God Tempest is active increases duration 2.5 seconds per enemy defeated. Solid. And then one of my other favorite ones, and as you can see on the icon that this will be shared with Thor, increase the duration of Warrior's Fury by 14 seconds if you activate it while overcharged, giving you an insane window of potential damage increase, especially if you have like Warrior's Fury Breaker on another piece. Going on to the melee piece, we've got increased energy from All Mothers. So this one is like kind of like, oh, okay, why is that going to overcharge? Well, it's like your All Mothers is like you're holding your intrinsic. You're going to be able to do more damage, and especially if you go into
no spoilers, haven't watched it yet.
Where the more damage you do, the more more energy you're going to gain. And then of course you have pinned multiplier. Pin an enemy and you get an orb. The orb will be contextual. So if you have full health and you pin an enemy, you're not going to get regen packs. You're going to get like heroic or intrinsic, whatever is lower at the time. All Mother's Amplifier on the range piece, increase status damage, allowing you to get the status effects up faster, especially if you're building for Sonic. And then Rampant Shockwave Breaker is actually one of the more interesting ones, where the shockwaves, when you throw your hammer and hit somebody while overcharged, is going to do more damage, increasing all of that stuff that's increasing like range or status buildup. And then we go on to the defensive piece, which is this is actually one of the other parts that Jane can vault. And I know a lot of players out there are like, I don't like vaulting, or I don't like the objectives that have me defeat an enemy while vaulting. Well, look, it's a mechanic in game. You should learn to use it. It's actually really good.
Hers is really good because it's not really a vault. It's like a let me throw you around like a clown.
Yeah, and so you grab the enemy and you toss him behind you. It's rather quick. It's not as quick as Widow's, but it's still like a fast action. Yeah. And so if you're overcharged and you grab an enemy and you toss him behind him, they're going to get hit with a bolt of lightning. They're going to get status damage on them. All Mother's Rush, great sustainment feature that if you're just holding that intrinsic down, you're going to have a natural health regen. And then Lethal Strike Overdrive, which is you generate normal All Mother's energy, your normal intrinsic energy when dealing damage or defeating enemies. So bookending this, we have one thing that increases regen of your All Mother's Blessing, and then with the heroic, you have something that increases your overcharge energy and ways to get more in the middle. So that entire loop in there is like keep All Mothers up, get overcharge faster, cast Warrior's Fury, rinse and repeat. And I really enjoy this set.
I love it. I love it. All right, we on to Apex then?
Yes, we're on to the Apex set.
Apex set. All right.
So the Apex set is to try and differentiate. The primary goal
Good
here
Lord.
was you're going to see a lot of the same perks from Thor in here from his Apex set, but this one is definitely hitting the heroic ultimate harder than Thor because it doesn't have any perks for that. So starting off with the armor, we've got ultimate hammer intrinsic. So while all weapon is active, when Mjolnir is going around hitting, you have a higher chance of dropping an intrinsic orb to get that overcharge faster. Lethal unarmed cryo leak still remains. And then of course, ultimate extension to increase the duration of all weapon. Pretty self-explanatory. Going on to the heroic for Censure of Asgard Scion, Azura's Breaker remains. Rampant lethal extension for Warrior's Fury remains. Ultimate cryo hazard. So if you cast all weapon on the ground, you are going to create a cryo hazard around you. So this one in general is it's not like you're not going to get numbers. It's like, oh, I don't see a 20% increase, but there is a huge utility aspect of this, especially since we get into the fact that it is a gear perk hint on that type of thing. This is honestly one of my favorite where I was like trying to unpack like, hey, how can we add more utility to this kind of stuff? So this is combining some of Thor's natural kit into gear. Going on to the melee is just like one of the like, pretty basic ones. If I like using All Mother's Blessing and or all weapon, we have Ultimate Blessing Breaker, which increases all damage to All Mother's Blessing while all weapon is active, which you can combine with other versions of that. And then Hilt of the Asgard Scion retains Etri's Breaker, increasing all hammer attacks, or increasing damage for all hammer attacks. So again, Apex set being the least subtle out of all of them, but seeing a lot of damage potential.
Love it. All right, so I think we have one more set. We're gonna take a look at a couple of discording gear pieces. So last screenshot, we'll take a look at that.
So we have two pieces up right now showing discording gear. I don't think I need to show the heroic piece, as a lot of, I think like the first thing I saw on Discord was the fact that people are saying that All Mother's Assistance is on the heroic piece and discording gear. So hey, it's there. Let's focus on the other ones. So we have for the ranged piece, for the range slot, we have pin cryo leak. So pinning an enemy spreads cryo status effects to nearby enemies. This is on the range piece, which can roll sonic status effect and pinpoint vibranium payload. Just saying. And then on the melee piece, we have granting melee impact, which is currently right now a perk we have only dropping on Jane. But I'm currently exploring whether or not we just expand this everybody, which is we increase the melee impact. So you're going to increase your capability of staggering enemies as long as you're sending the sonic conduit.
Awesome. I did just get one very specific question. I'm trying to like grab it.
Have you reviewed the info of the game Gotham Knights?
Why So Blue Panda Bear is asking, do you get locked out of specific gear slots as rewards if those slots are higher than the others? For example, if my chest piece is the highest power level I am I locked out of getting that as a possible reward?
So if you're not locked out of getting it as a random piece. You're locked out of getting it for power level increase. So it's like, oh, hey, I got defense and I got melee this week as my two superior pieces from the raid. Okay, next week, you're not going to get those. You're going to get the other two. You're always going to, the pieces that drop superior, the pieces that drop increasing your power level are always going to be weighted towards the slots that are at the lowest power level setting. Okay. So obviously, if you have two pieces that are tied, so it's like, oh, your melee and range are tied, and it's going to drop melee or ranged. It's random between those two. But if only one of those is like lower, that is what
Turtle. I have been keeping update with Gotham Knights.
Now give superior gear interact with that the same way.
It interacts with that the same way. On the flip side, though, it is it is not locked to 2 slots. It's locked to it drops on any slot. So it's going to go to whatever the lowest slot is that you're going to get that for that superior reward. So the roster rewards will always give you power level increase weighted towards your lowest power level slots.
Awesome. Okay, so Neha, we can pull down the little screenshots of the gear because we now have a kitty guest, and I think that takes
There we
priority.
go.
So we're just gonna make sure that we can see the cat for the end.
Chat has demanded, and he has behaved.
So one more question for you, Alex.
Sure.
We recently reworked the rewards for the reoccurring LTEs. So the Red Room and Cosmic Threat are coming up for the first time since that rework.
Now this guy has a cat laying on him.
What we're gonna expect from those?
Sure. So the Red Room event was giving out the technical set plus like Tachyon and all the like legendary Tachyon. So in an effort to to standardize and to have a theme per event, it is going to be just the technical set. So the roster reward is going to remain. It's going to be the technical set. It'll give you the exotic. If you're above power level 120, it's going to be the entire roster. And now all of the minor missions are also going to give the technical set. And as long as you're above power level 120, it will be the exotic variant. But so because you can complete the minor missions with any hero, and we don't want this to be the same type of power level cadence as the Tachyon mission, you're not going to see power level increase from all of the missions in the Red Room. It's primarily going to be from the roster report. This is mainly focused on, hey, gear hunting. I want to get the technical piece. Do I want to do all of the minor missions on one hero? Do I want to do the minor missions on other heroes, as well as we have on the daily repeatable? We're going to be awarding the harm gear, which you can only get from Roy on the helicarrier. So that personally to me is like, hey, it's something interesting for the daily repeatable. So Red Room is going to be about gear hunting. It's going to be about like perk hunting for those specific things. And the roster reward is still going to have power level increase across the board. And now we get to the Cosmic event, which is going to be one of the more even ways of getting power level increase. Not only is the roster reward going to give you Omega gear, but the minor mission chains are going to give you Omega gear and a Cosmic minor artifact. So you're going to see a power level increase for all of those pieces. So you're going to get a pretty even spread when you get over there.
Awesome. All right, man, we had a lot more to talk about than I thought we would. Like, I love the enthusiasm, and it's so exciting to hear the stuff directly from the two of you. I think that Adam and Nick have been in chat kind of answering questions as we go. I did see one ask about the Jane Foster streamer kit, which you can see. It's very pretty. Thank you to our creative services team. We'll definitely get that online for everyone. But yeah, I think we answered the majority of the questions that we can. So I would say, Brian and Alex, are there any other things you want to just throw out there, mention, shout outs, anything like that? And then we will sign off with a really cool little video before we go.
Yeah, so one thing that obviously a lot of people have been talking about in chat today, which is around hero operations and hero narrative. And so as with Spider-Man and now with Jane, we're trying some different ways of injecting narrative into the game with them that isn't as large as, say, a hero operation. Hero operations take a very long time to
damn well
build.
there was no coffee in that
take a very
cup.
long time to polish and ship. And so our goal, and one of the things that we and I can't get into a lot of details around it, but one of the things that we did with Jane was we have on the development side have changed a lot of how we develop and produce our heroes in an effort to get them out faster. And so we were trying a lot of new things, which is why it still took us, the kind of the normal amount of time to get her out compared to another hero. But we're hoping to see that stuff pay off with the next hero and heroes that we do. I don't know that we're currently right now, we're not planning on doing any more Kate and Clint or even Black Panther length operations. But what I will say is that just like we did with Jane, and how heroes have a spectrum of kind of, their abilities and what sets them apart, we want to do that with the narrative side as well. And since the narrative is such an important piece of this game, it's now knocking things off my desk. We want to find ways to tie the heroes that come into the game with the overarching narrative of the game. Some will tie in more when they do arrive than others. For instance, our next hero that we're working on right now will tie almost directly into Thank you. We'll tie it directly into kind of the events of what's coming in the next few updates that we've talked about a little bit. So we just want to keep trying different things and see what works, right? And
I think Winter
see
Soldier
what works better, what doesn't, learn from it, adapt, and go from there. So when we're not going to say, yes, the next heroes that we have are going to have the same type of operations as before, we're taking your feedback, we're listening to your feedback, we have our own feedback on what we want to do, and we're going to keep iterating, keep trying new things, and see what we can do with that.
Awesome. Any final thoughts, Alex, on your side?
The gear in the features looks cool.
Awesome. Well, it has been lovely to have both of you, and it was super exciting to.
I guess we're gonna play a video at the end. We will see what this video includes.
The narrative and voice of Jane and so on. Huge thank you again to Neha for helping run this stream behind the scenes. So one more thing before we sign off, we wanted to give you a first look at Thor's Love and Thunder outfit in action, which is just awesome. We're so excited for you to see it, and thank you for watching. We hope you have fun playing Jane. Share your
Love and Thunder outfit.
Feedback. We're listening. We compile it. We take it to the team. And we hope you enjoy it. So thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right, they're man, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. That was a boring ass stream. It started getting pretty interesting towards the end. Then they said that they were about to wrap it up. Like, damn, they're gonna wrap it up. They did show us the Thor's new outfit, which was leaked by a guy named Miller on Twitter, who seems to be leaking and being right about a lot of these leaks. And he did tweet out an image of Thor in that outfit that he has on before. So, oh man, I mean, it's good to see him in that new outfit. I thought we were gonna get some Jane Foster outfits included in there. You know that they're gonna give Jane Foster an outfit. You know they're gonna give her an outfit. But yeah, it was definitely low budget. I mean, I can figure they're low budget. They're pretty much in the same situation as MFR. With they probably don't have a lot of devs working on it, and they just have like a small team, maybe a little bit bigger than MFR. Don't waste your time on the game. I've been having fun playing the game. That is why I did a stream for today. If I didn't have fun playing the game, I would have not done the stream. But I was really interested in this dev note. I was excited. It definitely, the first 15 minutes definitely killed it for me, because I was excited, and next thing then it started getting real. I'm like, okay, damn, I wasn't expecting to hear this stuff. But yeah, I mean, I thought we were gonna get some maybe some outfits for Jane, to be honest. But yeah, I was for my first Marvel's Avengers live, watching it live, kind of man. At least that's one thing MFR is doing better right now. Am I right? But yeah, man, I think that I gave the game another chance. It has a lot of bugs. It is very repetitive. The Thor Mighty Jane is a Echo, and she resembles Thor a lot. And she does have a little changes here and there. I agree with a lot of these things that people are saying about the game. You know, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. What I'm saying is I'm having fun playing the game. And what this channel is me covering the games that I enjoy playing. And being that it's a Marvel game, I know that I'm always going to be tempted to go back in, try it. But then this time, though, it's going to be different because I actually invested, not money-wise, but invested some time on Jane Foster. Got her pretty good, and now I feel like a god of thunder. But yeah, man, I'm sorry about dragging you guys with me on that one. In the beginning, it was rough. I know. If you are new to the channel, thank you guys for coming in here. I mainly cover Marvel Future Revolution, a mobile, I guess it's like an MMO RPG. It's not an RPG, it's more kind of like an MMO game. But yeah, for mobile, so I'm definitely on there a lot. But I'm trying to expand my, all right, whatever that term is, I'm trying to figure that out. Only worthy playing if one new hero for 1 week. For some, yeah. I think for some, they're going to come in here, play for a week, and then just move on. And then we have, so I'm also will be covering other games like Marvel games. I'm going to stay in the Marvel. I'm looking at DC though with the Arkham Knights. So the game Arkham Knights looks like it's to be honest, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on this. Arkham Knights, the fighting mechanics of Arkham Knights, it looks different. I'm like, just whatever you guys did with Batman, the Batman series, Batman Arkham Knight games, just put that in here. There's something different here. The fighting doesn't seem like as smooth as the other games, and this is supposed to be like only next gen. I guess that they just released a trailer for Robin, so if I'm gonna play anybody, it's probably gonna be Robin. I just need to. I'm definitely gonna try it out. I'm definitely gonna buy it and try it out. I'm not gonna pre-order it. I'm gonna buy it. I don't recommend pre-ordering anything, to be honest, because we already know how that goes. What up, Dusk? I'm pretty sure it took Spider-Man a month later to get any of the MCU skins. Just find it crazy how they launched Jane with not a lot of skins available outside of Pass. It wasn't just barely any skins. It was no story included either. Arkham Asylum absolutely changed how we looked at the Batman game. One of the GOATs. Yeah, definitely. I'm interested, but that's why I'm going to still give this game a shot. So I'm still going to give DC Arkham Knights, and who knows, maybe it's just the choices of clips that they chose to release were just not, maybe the story is going to be like off the chain. But the other one that I'm also excited for, that's DC, actually two, is the Wonder Woman one, the solo, single player, I think it's single player, Wonder Woman game, and the Suicide Squad one. That one looks interesting. So, but we really haven't seen that much, any gameplay of those other two, right? Yeah. Hey, I love to watch you play any AGNE game, RNG game. I am gonna try to do it. Well, I'm gonna keep it in the we'll try to keep it into the Marvel, and then we'll throw in a little DC here. But I think that I'm just gonna stick to that because the only games that I really like, even though they're bad, I stay around, are Marvel games or superhero type IP. Because DC makes a way better game than Marvel. DC still sucks. I think DC just the movies, because DC has Batman, Superman, the Joker, a lot of other people. Can't really say it top, but Batman, and then Bruce Wayne. So they got that. But yeah, no, I'm trying to expand. What I also did add is now you guys will be seeing me play on my tablet because I finally found a way to get it on my screen. Get it on my screen and then show you guys. Let's see. So that stream was definitely shorter than expected. Way shorter. If it was ever play Yakuza? No, but I've always been tempted because those games, it looks like it's like fighting style games, right? You're walking and then pop 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 pop. That's what it looks like. That's something that I think that I can pick up and casually play and then have fun. Arkham game looks really fun. Meanwhile, CW show Arkham Knights should just be a void completely. Looks so bad. Hoping it gets canceled. So not trying to tie into the game. I hope they don't do that, man. They just have been having horrible luck with it, man. Horrible luck. Everything going on with the Flash movie, the whole drama. That guy needs to get fired, man. I don't give a damn if they see. I don't know, but. Get rid of that guy. That guy's just adding so much bad publicity to Warner Brothers that they just definitely don't need. I mean, right now, and they're also dealing with Aquaman 2 and the whole Amber Heard situation, which they should get rid of her ass completely. But yeah, Flashpoint, the Flash movie, I want it to be good. I just feel like they're trying to rush. I feel like they're trying to compete with Marvel. And they're trying to rush into the whole multiverse like quickly. And I feel like the idea it's cool. But Marvel has been doing this for over 10 years. They've been slowly marinating the storyline. I feel like, honestly, right now, if it does seem like Marvel's kind of like just... back then everything Marvel dropped was like it was a hit. Lately is they've been throwing some misses there. So I think we know why. We saw some of that on this live stream in the beginning. Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely. What right now we just have for me, right? I have MFR, that is the main one, and it's still gonna stay the main one because I can carry that wherever I go. When I can be hanging out with my kids, and then I can have my little tablet, or I can pull out my phone. It's always something I can pull out, so I know that that's gonna be my main game. But like I said, I have the PS5 just collecting dust. It's time I put some miles in it. So I started, looking around with games, and I just decided, let me try Marvel's Avengers again. And I just been playing it ever since. I don't get what on earth anyone just tuned into CWW for any superhero show. Even a decent one is bait. Yeah, man. It's definitely... It's going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough, not only for DC, but with Marvel. I mean, we're looking what they're doing with Kamala Khan, changing her powers. And the first episode, it was fun. I thought, like, okay, I'm gonna give the show a chance. Second episode, okay, still seems kind of fun. I kind of see maybe definitely there's going to be some wokeness coming in the future episodes. And then third episode hits, and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, damn. I know which route this is going. And yeah, let's just say that the third episode, the last one that just came out, I wasn't waiting for it. But I'll still watch it, you know, to kind of see. Maybe I'll get surprised. Try Guardians of the Galaxy. I did. I really enjoyed it. I bought the game and I gave it to I let my brother-in-law borrow it. Told him to try out. Juicy fruit woke pitches everywhere. It's not. It's okay. So I want to make something very clear. It's nothing against women. It's not. It's nothing against women. Okay. So when like there are movies that they can make that are, you know, where the main character is woman, like Wonder Woman. I love the Wonder Woman movies. The first one, I don't know about the number two. Number two kind of fell off, but the first Wonder Woman, damn, that shit was I remember everybody was like, man, maybe DC's gonna start making some good movies now. You know, I think that Black Widow in the Avengers, I thought she was, you know, I didn't have no problem with her. Her solo movie definitely, man, the way they massacred my boy Taskmaster when he took off that mask. I'm like, you know, damn well, that was a man under that hood. There's no way. But so the thing here, I just want to make this very clear. It's not against women. It's the way they're trying to push something. How they will like be like they'll get they'll make a film, right? And then there's going to be these people that are going to force something to be changed because it has to attract certain, you know, groups of audiences. And sometimes I feel like that ruins the movie, because if it's not the in whatever, like if it's like forced in there, people are going to notice. And that's why you see people like on, you know, there's videos of people just clearly calling it out. And then we had The Voice. There was like a leak, Disney conversation, a leak that was leaked out, and they left the conversation going. They thought their mic was muted or something, and they were talking about, you know, trying to like push that message out, try to force it out there. Like, how could we get whatever type of wokeness out there? Like, how can we force that more to people? It's another story though when there's already a story, and that's just like the origins, right? But when they start, you know, when the whole rumors were how they wanted to make Clark Kent black, there's literally a black Superman out there. But no, they want to make Clark Kent black. Like, no, why don't you just make the movie on him? I forgot his name, but there is. And then the guy that was rumored to start like be in it or something was like Michael B. Jordan. Then he was interviewed. And he said he doesn't want to do the movie. He doesn't want to make Clark Kent black. He wants to play the real black Superman. I would love to see a movie with the real black Superman. But when they switch Clark Kent and they race swap Clark Kent, it's like, what the hell? Just like if we get Wakanda Forever, and it's not, and it's you know, it's a white guy playing Black Panther. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, we, you know, Black Panther. That's we read the comics. Why the chick from Moon Knight 10 times stronger? Why? Exactly. Here's another one. Hawkeye, right? That show was more of a Kate Bishop show than Hawkeye. You know what I'm saying? Like that they could have like done it where they still could have included Kate Bishop, but it was clearly a Kate Bishop show. Hewitt, what's going on, man? They need to make their own heroes and stop ruining the current ones. I agree, man. I agree. I feel like there's so many. I don't know why they have to like change stuff that's already, you know, set in stone. There's, you know, if they want to make a movie where a girl is like powerful, or it's like she is like dominating or something, there's literally characters like that. The problem that I have with it is them changing stuff and forcing this agenda on them. Like, why not just go with what's already made. You know, like Captain Marvel. You know, there's a guy version of Captain Marvel, and then there's a girl version of Captain Marvel. They went with the girl version. Why didn't nobody say anything about that, right? Why did they go with the girl? The reason is because there's comics where she is a girl, and then there's others where it's a dude, where Captain Marvel is a dude. Yep, the Loki. Yeah, man. Supergirl is in Flash movie, so hoping she gets way more time to shine in it. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Supergirl is in there. MFR only releasing female playable recently. Yeah, that is true. I think it might change though. I think that's, you know, it's gonna be different. We update. We're thinking it's gonna be coming out Tuesday for MFR. And I'm calling it that I think they're gonna drop Mighty Thor as a companion. As a companion. Let me make that very clear. As a companion. What up, Cross? What's going on, man? Thanks for coming into the stream. We watched the developer notes for Marvel's Avengers, another game. And yeah, it was it was long. It was boring. It kind of got okay towards the end, and then they dropped the trailer, and then they showed Thor with his new he's getting a new costume, which is based on Thor: Love and Thunder. So the one he wears in the movie, he's gonna get it in. He's gonna get it in the game. If the next playable is a female, the next playable has to be somebody big, man. Somebody big. Now, you know, if it comes like that time, it's gonna be for Wakanda Forever comes out. Let's just say maybe if they drop Black Panther, okay. Deadpool. I think they're gonna wait Deadpool though until his movie comes out. But that's the other thing though. We won't know for sure that they're gonna follow this whole movie type of thing to release a character when the movie comes out until the next one. If the next one comes out and it's, you know, like if it comes out when Wakanda comes out and it's Black Panther, then oh yeah, you can bet your ass that you can follow that track record and be like, okay, in 6 months, Deadpool 2 comes out. I don't know if Deadpool 2 comes out 6 months after Wakanda, but I'm just saying, whatever Marvel movie comes out that time, the chances of that character is as a playable character from that movie is pretty good. Black Panther would be rad. Another attack. Yeah, he would have he'd probably have like a meter like Captain America, where every time he gets hit, he like absorbs it and it fills up the meter and he's able to do like something. What is big one after Thor from MCU? Like what is the next big movie coming out after Thor? I think it's not talking about shows, but like just movie. I think it's Wakanda. I just want Winter Soldier in either Marvel's Avengers or MFR. We'll get Winter Soldier as a companion in MFR. For sure. Why do I say that? The model is already there. The model is already there. And if he is rumored to be coming out for Marvel's Avengers as a playable hero for Marvel's Avengers. So I'm pretty sure Winter Soldier might show up in Wakanda Forever. Yeah, the Vibranium release. Yeah, if Marvel's Avengers is kind of, if they're planning out to release characters the same, then you can kind of see, like, it's too early to tell, but if, let's just say Jane Foster comes out companion, right? She just came out a couple days ago for Marvel's Avengers. Now, if Winter Soldier is the next one, if the leaks or the rumors are right, and Winter Soldier is the next one, or She-Hulk comes out of Marvel's Avengers, and then we see them show up as a companion and MFR, then you can see the connection there. You can see, like, okay, something's going on here. Something's going on here. And then we can look at Marvel's Avengers and be like, normally when something something gets added here, when Marvel's Avengers add something that's related to a movie that just came out, the chances of MFR doing something are going to be the same, which I think that's probably going to be the case. This is just me speculating. I think we need more of the original 6 aka OG Avengers. Yeah, man. It doesn't look like that. I feel like we will get some OG. Hopefully Tony will come back, make a big appearance, one last movie or one last, fight or show up somewhere before another Iron Man takes over the mantle. But it also looks like they're making like these young Avengers. You know what I mean? Like Kate Bishop's going to take over for Hawkeye. Mighty Thor is going to be maybe taking over for Thor. And Thor is just going to be, he's still going to be there, but he might get like a power increase in this movie where he's just almighty. And he would only show up on the moments where all hope is lost. And all of a sudden, here comes Thor. Bam! With the cosmic energy Thor. I still think it would be awesome to have like villain anti-hero as a playable, especially Doctor Doom, but I know it's not going to happen. On Marvel's Avengers or MFR, I think either game, man, as a villain. I don't think for Marvel's Avengers though, because I think they made it clear that they're focusing on just Marvel characters. And if they do, oh man, that would be amazing. But for MFR though, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we see villains come in as a playable character. Let me see. I'm going to try to set this MFR so you guys can see. We'll do some MFR gameplay for you guys. Let me make sure I pull it up over here. This will be my first time trying this out. Hopefully it goes smooth. I hope it works. Let me do something here real quick. No. All right, I think I'm okay. Almost there. I thought the stream was gonna be this short, the developers live stream. So if I would have known, I would have already had this all set up. But it's not gonna take that long. There we go. Now we're almost there. Where the hell is the... Here we go. You some bitch. Now when I'm trying to do it, it won't even... Here, let me do this. We cancel that. That is damn. Huh. That's weird. I wonder why it's not trying to do it. I'm just trying to get my my game, the MFR screen to show up on here. Let me take off this. Maybe this will... Yeah, that is... Huh. Let me try this thing real quick before... Oh. There we go. There we go. I was getting a little worried there, like, why is it not working? Ooh, it's because I have it locked too. Almost got it there. It won't freaking click on the damn thing. Nope, not what I wanted to do. All right. Nope, that's not it either. Was that the wrong? Oh, it was game capture. That's what it was. There we go. Good God. Good God, man. The shit I have to do. We'll just do that. Okay, all right, man. That's it. We'll do that. Good God, man. Damn. It was taking some time, but now we'll be able to get in here. Now we can finally, for the first time, I'm able to show and do it on my iPad. So this is, did I do all my raids? No. We'll do that. Oh, wow. It's really lagging. Oh my God. Yep. Wow. Yeah, I'm not even in that display. Damn. Yeah, it's not working like it's supposed to. I tried, man. I tried. It just is not. It's being a pain in the ass. Yeah, this is yep. I did that like way. Yeah. So yeah, that's it gonna be it, guys. Yeah, it's just having too many problems. It's still new. I'm still working it out. I was able to do it yesterday pretty smoothly, I think, with the whole stream and stuff. We'll definitely try it again. But since this wasn't intended to be an MFR stream, I didn't have it all ready or tested and everything set up. I thought that the stream, the dev note was gonna go long enough, but apparently it didn't. But yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I definitely gotta reset everything, man. I gotta reset everything. Now I gotta get off of this raid thing. Yeah, get off of that. But all right, guys. Thanks for just coming in here, watching me struggle here at the very last minute. But yeah, the stream wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, the dev note, but yeah. There's not much I can say. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to come in here and just chat with me. And Jitesh, as always, thank you for coming in and helping out with the chat, and hope just make things a lot easier for me, man. Thanks a lot, man. But I'll catch you guys next time, man. You guys take care. All right.